Thank you. That's good. All right. So team, welcome Selenium Live project, and welcome to everyone from iTeLearn team as well. From my personal experience and perspective, this is the final milestone for anyone who wants to really get into an automation job. So treat this as an extremely important thing, team. And there are a lot of things that we will go through, but at a high level, be very serious and disciplined about it. And so will we be in terms of giving feedback. Be ready for some critical feedbacks. It could hurt, it could be painful, and so on. Be extremely agile about trying to speak. This is the opportunity for you to speak and for us to listen and be able to guide you and mentor you. And the reason we want you all in the live project speaking about what you're doing, how we are progressing, and we are listening to the project updates from you, you will be speaking the same things at work or an interview. So once you go to interview, they'll say, okay, what did you do in your live project or last project? So it has to be extremely involved. Do not assume that you will be part of the project or we will certify your involvement with, how do I say, non-participation. So unless you're committed, don't, tell us, oh no, Karthik, can do only 2 hours a day. Fair enough. Or I can do only 1 hour a week, won't work. Okay, so you need to at least put a couple of hours every day into this. There are a lot of communications. You'll have to interact with teams across the board and so on. There is an amazing structure. This is possibly the 15th, not 15th, it is the 10th Selenium Live project that we must be doing. And it's extremely interesting, team. The main thing that makes it special is we divide you into groups, like we call them as teams, and each team is given the same project. And 2 or 3 times a week when we meet and when you come and show your project updates, each team, one representative comes in from your team each week, each session, and they present it. So you also see how others are doing. Sometimes the styles, there are variations, which is fine. We encourage them to try and be different. You'll see the presentation skills, and oh wow, there's a lot of group learning that way, team. You'll see that oh wow moment a lot of times. Not from us anymore, from everyone else who's doing the project. So the core thing about this live project is going to be, one, what is the application under test, or what is it that we want to do? Okay. The second thing, once you're executing this application and all that, it should be something that you can take it into the market, put it in the resume, and it's a real project. We don't have dummy projects. We do not have them. We have so many projects coming in that we need to actually staff them. There is a risk that what projects you will do may not be the final exact output, but then we will guide you, work with you, and you can continue to work. It could be a 6 weeks project, but a lot of our iTeLearn members have continued to work for 6 months, 1 year, till they got the jobs and they were comfortable to go into the market. So I really welcome you all, and thank you so much for joining this session. Let's go through the presentation maybe, and then we'll keep coming. Application and a test, I do have one question, team. Ruxana, you're there too, and everyone is there from in your Teach team as well. Why don't we rewrite any Peach right from scratch, instead of maybe just writing another framework for another application and so on? Let us rewrite this. We will start with writing fresh code, fresh programs. The team will also know a lot about how we can do build integrations. We can get DevOps into it, Jenkins, Maven. All these things can be placed so well into it. Maybe in the next 6 weeks, with the help of the participants, we will rewrite Peach.
Sure, Karthik.
Yeah, and there's so much we can do with reporting, Tableau, and it's all Java. And I'm assuming, team, when we say Selenium Live project, this is a lot of programming goes into it. Okay, so assume that almost 70% of you must be able to master this in the next 6 weeks. I'm assuming it will be about 4 to 6 weeks. and sometimes these projects do get extended. So be ready, volunteer a lot, participate a lot. So that is one option that I have, Ruxana, that we can try for, in your speech itself, because it will be extremely interesting, and we can, a lot of exposure that the audience will get, students will get. Um, yeah, I think I'm good. Thank you, everyone. I'll go back on mute. Back to you all, Ruxana, Ashna, and team.
Thanks, Karthik. Just to mention, hi everyone, welcome to the orientation session of Selenium Live project. I've introduced myself before. This is Ruxana from iTeLearn, and I also have 4 other team members, test team leads with me. They are Minal, Raki, Sridevi, and Shagor. So Shagor, I hand it over to you. Would you like to present, please?
Sure, Roxana.
Thanks. So I'll go on mute.
Okay, sure. Hi, team. My name is Shagor. I'm, basically a part of this live project with iTeLearn. I just hope everyone can hear me okay. If you can just put in chat, just make sure the audio and everything is okay.
Yes, Shagor, we can hear you.
Okay, great. Thank you. So just want to again welcome everyone to this live project, and let me go ahead and basically share my screen. Roxana, am I the presenter now?
Yes.
Okay. I don't see an option to share my screen. Can you guys see my screen? Okay, so now I can see, yeah, now I have the option. Thank you. Okay, so you guys can see my screen, I'm assuming now?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay, great. So yes, so just wanted to let everyone know that this is going to be the live project for our Selenium batch, and it's not just for the recent Selenium batch, but it's also for our members that have taken the training before and they want to basically finish executing this last crucial step, as Karthik mentioned, to basically showcase your work, put it into action, and get ready for the market, for the job market, for today's industry. And this is basically the last stepping stone. This is where you either you make it or you break it, and we're here to help you, basically groom you into the QA tester or the automation engineer that you need to be for today's market. And the good thing, there are some good things about the project, and of course there are some things that you need to be disciplined about. As Karthik said, you have to make sure that you are able to contribute some time to the project, and basically keep up with the work and make sure that you're getting the most out of this project. But other than that, um, you need to basically, the exposure that you get with this project, it's basically, it's life changing, because this is where either you go into the next salary level or get into that job that you've all worked hard for. And this is why this project is really important. This is why you need to put in the time, get the things that you need to make sure you succeed in the job field when you enter the job field. So there are some benefits of this live project that we want to go over. Again, we are working with a live application. This is not a dummy project. Everything will be structured into a nice, workflow that will be able to guide you through. You will get hands-on experience with this application. You're going to be working as you're working in the job, in the job market, when you're employed with the company, and you'll be building the frameworks from scratch. You'll be writing all the automation test scripts. You'll be using, and all the details we're going to go into in a few minutes. And most importantly, not only you will get this technical knowledge and the practice that comes with the project, this is going to be an amazing experience, because you're going to be working with all the team members. They're going to be located globally in different countries. You're going to be able to, I guess you're going to be able to collaborate and interact with the team members. And, at the end of the day, you will be able to learn a lot from each other. And the best thing I want to mention about this project, this is a first time where we have such a good, I guess a panel of team leads that, that I'm, proud to work amongst. So this is where we are, basically changing our project structure, and we're making sure that every team that we assign, so there will be, let's say, approximately 6 to 8 people on the team, and for each team, there will be an individual team lead that will help you guys, give you the personal attention that you guys need, and make sure you're going in the right direction. We want to make sure you have that personal attention, and this is why this project is going to be definitely a game changer. This is what's gonna basically make you stand out in that interview. You'll be able to showcase this experience on your resume, obviously, and iTeLearn will make sure that you put in the time and you're being recognized for that, and you'll be able to talk about it, talk about the project in your interviews, and make sure you're successful in your job search. So other than that, I just want to, again, welcome all of you. We are, after this is the first orientation session, and we're going to have another one, free session. But after that, we're going to start with the paid session. Please do make sure you come join the experience. And, I'm sure once you get to meet Ruxana and rest of the panels, you'll see that, we have a lot to offer, and we want to make sure you guys have a lot to offer to us, and we want to make sure it's a good experience between all of us. So besides that, I just want to now just talk about the prerequisites really quick, and then I'll hand it over to Roxana, and she can guide you guys through all the details of the project. So again, as I mentioned, this is not only for just Selenium training members, but it's also for our JPAC members, CSDT and YES members. And just some prerequisites. You do have to make sure that you're comfortable with the automation basics. You need to make sure you're able to, complete your element identification. Make sure you're comfortable with that process. You should have some hands-on experience, or you should have spent some time with Selenium WebDriver and the components. Should be able to, have basic knowledge about the core Java topics, JUnit, TestNG, and this is all covered in our Selenium training. And you should have a fair idea on how to build automation frameworks. Now, if you have taken the training, that's great. So everything should be fresh. You just need to make sure you can put everything, you can link everything together, and now bring everything into the picture. So now this project is where we're going to be able to do that, and this is why it's such a good opportunity to make sure you can make the connections and make the project come alive. And so yes, other than that, I can have Roxana take over. Yes, Karthik, I'm sorry.
No, no, no problem. I just wanted to add on one specific point that you raised, that even I am very proud and glad of the panel from iTeLearn who's going to be managing this live project. This is going to be really interesting with all of you being there. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you, Karthik. So Roxana, yeah, if you would like to continue,
Yes.
you can share your screen, and thank you. All right, thank you, everyone.
Okay, so this is how we are going to work on the live project on the AU team. So we are going to have 6 to 8 members, or maybe 7 to 9 members, depending on the participants that we have. And usually, we normally have 4 to 5 teams, and each team, we will try our best to divide the team as per their time zone, and each team will have their own team lead. Currently, we have 5 test team leads, so you will report to each team lead. So we are not going to assign you any task. Each team will determine who is going to work on what module. So this will have to be decided among yourselves. And as Karthik and Shagwar pointed out, so I'm not going to emphasize on this, that it's a joint effort. So we need active participation from all the members. And this is how normally, like, we communicate. We meaning like the team members in your team. You have to interact regularly. You can use any modes. You can use Skype, WhatsApp for daily communication, and like maybe like one within the team, you have to take the lead role of coordinating, because that sometimes becomes a challenge, that like who's going to coordinate, who's going to get in touch with all the teams, and who's going to create the WhatsApp group or the Skype group. So one of you should take the initiative, and please do not depend on others. And we use the Google Drive to share all the files and folders. We have created folders, and I'm going to share this document with you. If you could just write your name and all this information that's given, and whoever is present, please just write present here also. So I'm going to put it in on chat. So please fill it up. And you will have, like in the Google Drive, like individual folders for your team, where each team is going to upload your work that you're doing on the project. And just a word of caution, please do not change others' files, other team members' files, or any information. This has happened like in the past, so I just wanted to let you all know that you can edit your documents, or like with your permission of your team members, you can change your own files, but please do not touch other team members' folders. So before the start of the live project, so these are the things that you have to have installed in your system. And perhaps I'm assuming, since you all know Selenium and it's a Selenium Live project, perhaps you already have them installed, like Java, Selenium standalone server. Then whoever works with Chrome browser, they must have Chrome driver installed. Whoever works with Firefox, so Firefox driver installed. Eclipse, of course, you need that as the workspace IDE, and all the Selenium required jar files. And since we're planning to do, like, as Karthik pointed out, we're planning to go for continuous integration and deployment. So we will be using Maven, Jenkins, and Git. So this, like, normally, like before we decided that we're going to work on any framework that your team chooses, like either go for data-driven, keyword-driven page object model. But again, like maybe like on the second orientation day, we will let you know like for confirm that are we going to proceed this way, or are we going to just pick any framework from the scratch and then work on it. So you have to do all this, like the right test cases, write test scripts, and then execute automation. Of course, we will be there to guide you all the way, but this is your work. So you're responsible for delivering everything, the products, but whenever you need us, we'll be there for you. So this is a 4-week sprint that we are going to work on, and in this time, we are not going to go for a detailed test plan, which we have seen in the past for waterfall approach. So just a brief test plan, and this also, like we're not going to focus on manual test cases writing. Of course, you have to write test cases and then write the script, but the focus is not on like enhancing the skills of manual test cases. The focus is on like building the framework from the scratch, and then writing the scripts, and then try to run them. And this is a report that you are going to work on every day, like your team is going to work on every day, each member. So you're going to write what you have done, like today, the work that you have completed today, and what you're going to do like tomorrow or the next day. And if you're facing like any challenges or that, like, if you were not able to work on something, then please point that also. So this will all be shared in the Google Drive. So like we have like team leads who you are going to report to, and this will be around like 15 to 20 minutes each day, and your test team lead, and you will decide like how many times a week that you want to give the updates or discuss the issues with him or her, maybe 3 times a week or maybe 4 times a week. So we call it like like a scrum meeting. So normally what you would discuss like the task that you completed since the last meeting and what you're doing now currently and any challenges that you're facing. And we will also do a report like defect logging. The template will has been created and it's going to be shared in the Google Drive as well. So everything is written over there, like defect ID, task case ID, and please indicate the steps to reproduce the defects, because since it's a live application and our dev team is working on it, so they have to be like when you report a defect, they have to be able to reproduce the defects. So kindly like from step 1 to like all the way where you found the error or the bug or the defect, please include that, and also attach a screenshot with the defect on the template, please. And if you have like any comments or anything that you noticed irregulars, please point that also. So twice a week we are going to have like a team presentation. So what's going to happen, like if we have suppose like 4 teams, so each member is going to represent like one team and will give updates. So on one day, we're going to take updates from all the teams. It's not that we're going to take updates from 2 teams this week and next week another two teams will give their updates. No, we will allocate the time, and so each team, like every team, will get to present their updates, and also like everyone will get like equal opportunity to present his or her work. Maybe some of you may feel shy or may feel that you don't have that much experience in the QA field and you're a bit uneasy. Please do not worry, like you have a great team, and I'm sure like your team members will guide you, support you all the way. And this is a good opportunity, so you should take it and try to present like whatever updates you have on behalf of your team.
Hi, Ruxana.
Yes. Yes.
Just wanted to add a couple of things. One,
Yes.
can we also involve the offshore team like Suresh, Saket,
Yes.
and even Anji, because we
Yes.
want to do a lot of, we want to be very mobile app centric also a little bit.
Okay.
So I think let's get them also involved. It's a good time, 8 a.m. sessions for us, at least in India,
Okay.
and then it'll make a lot of sense on that.
Okay.
Second thing, I don't want any kind of a comfort feeling during the project team. This is real project, so you need to be really working out. So you'll face a lot of challenges and very, very little spoon feeding that we would do. Uh, I mean, even if you come and ask a question, even if I would know the answer, I would ask, okay, so how would you go and find a solution for it? So you're thinking of how do you'll find obstacles, a lot of challenges, be it communication, be it absenteeism, be it, oh wow, the project suddenly changed or something, anything. You'll be exposed to them all. And then I want you to really look at those as your stepping stones, and they truly are. And when you go for an interview and speak about the project, it's very easy for someone who's experienced in the industry to know within 30 seconds if you are faking your experience or not. And when we talk about simple things like what challenges did you face in the project, in those eyes at that time, I would know. And I'll ask actually the names of the team members. And this is very critical, team. So be very involved, give it your best. Do not expect that we will spoon feed. And any opportunity you get, do not hesitate from speaking. Okay? If you have the mic, if you're unmuted, you have to speak. In this live project, we will stop speaking a lot, and you'll start showcasing what you're doing. Thank you, Xana. Thought I'll add that.
Thank you so much, Karthik. Okay, so like as you're working with the team, you might come across many challenges. It's not a smooth path. Of course, there's going to be ups and downs. So often you might face there are no documents, so who to ask for, and perhaps you're just waiting for someone to take the lead and then get you all the information. Please do not do that. Like, you have to put in a lot of effort from your side. And sometimes you might face some technical issues, you might have problems installing something, and it may not work. So we have a technical forum in our website. You can post your questions there, and please expect at least 24 to 48 hours, maximum 2 days for a response. And this is, I think, one of the most important points. Um, Even if it's a 10-member team, perhaps often you'll see maybe 5 members are really active, and they're working on the project on a day-to-day basis, coordinating with everyone, and incorporating everyone's inputs. And it's not the other members, they're not motivated to, but maybe some of the members may have less experience, less exposure to this field, and might find it challenging. So it depends on your team to motivate the all the members in your team, because all of you you're coming from different backgrounds, different perspectives. So I think from that sense, it's going to be a very interesting to work on a project with diverse team members. So what do we hope to accomplish after the end of the project? This has already been covered in the beginning, so I'm not going to stress much on it. So you will create a Selenium automation framework for any application, and a JUnit TestNG for the script. We normally use TestNG more. You'll be able to read and write from an Excel, using Apache POI, and also for build, we'll be using Maven and Jenkins for integration tool, and you'll be able to generate reports either by extent reports or TestNG or XML or Tableau. That is something we might look into. So that's all for today, and the next orientation day, that is on May 3rd, we are going to discuss the application. Currently, we have a few applications on hands, so we just have to finalize which one. But most probably, as Karthik said, we will work on Peach from the scratch, write everything from the scratch, and involving the offshore dev team also. So that is going to be very interesting and also challenging, but it's going to be a great experience for you all. So that's all from my side, and anyone would like to add anything to it? Raki, Sridevi,
I'm sorry
Ashna.
for that. Yeah, can we understand? Can we know the audience better? We do have a few poll questions. If we could run them, Shagor would actually run the poll questions. Post which, I'm sure Sri Devi, Meenal, and Anjuman also can give her feedback or whatever update needed.
Sure, thanks, Ashna.
Yeah.
Please.
So I think Shagor, you will need to be the presenter, and you can start running the polls.
Sure, Ashna. If someone can make me the presenter. Yes, I'm the presenter now. So you guys should be able to see my screen. And yeah, so basically, I just want to add a couple of things before running the polls. I just want to say that yes, we are going to make sure we're on top of all the project work. There will be no spoon feeding, so you need to make sure you show your attempt, and we're there to guide you, but you need to put in the work. But this is going to be a good experience. So having said that, we just want to make sure that we know who you are. We want to get some information so we know our audience and how we can better serve them. So having said that, first, we're just going to run some poll, and we would appreciate if you guys put your inputs in, and this way we can get an idea of where you stand. So first poll, if you guys can see my screen, if you can see the poll, you can make your selection. We'll wait about 30, 40 seconds or so, and we'll stop the poll. Okay, and this is basically going to tell us where do you stand in the IT industry. Are you experienced? Are you in training? Have you completed training? And basically this is where we get to know you better.
Ashna, can I request you to create one more poll while Shagur is running these polls
Okay.
about, are you joining using a desktop, laptop, or mobile
Okay.
device? The reason I'm asking is because I attended this webinar using my smartphone, and I was very happy to see the way the polls work and the screen share everything. Though the size of display is small, but it's very nice to. So I'm joining using my smartphone. I just want to see what other members are joining using.
Okay, and while Ashna creates that poll, I just want to let you guys know we have about 80% votes in. If some of you haven't got a chance to respond, please do so. We'll give it about 10-15 seconds and we'll close the poll, and we'll get to see where we stand. So as of now, let's see. All right, so another 5-6 seconds, we'll close the poll. Okay, we have about 82% votes in. I think that's good enough. And from what we see now, basically, we see that 9% of us are absolute beginner to IT, which is good. Absolutely, there's nothing to be afraid of. 22% we have that says that have some IT experience, but not significant at all. Not a problem. We're all part of the team, and there's about same 22% that would like.
Shakur, we can't see the poll results.
Oh,
If
sorry
you
about that.
say show
Sorry about that.
results, yeah, now we can. Thank you.
Sorry about that. All right, so as you can see, 22% have some IT experience, but not significant. And another 22% of you guys that are IT trained, but not getting the jobs. And this is where we would make that connection and make sure that we find out, what is the gap, and we need to fill that gap with this project. This is the best part about this project. 43% of us are working in IT. That is great, and this project will definitely give you some new inputs and new information to make sure you stay on top of today's QA industry. And about 4% of us that are IT experts, and I'm sure we can learn from them, and also they can learn from other team members and the project overall. So this is great inputs. Thank you so much for giving your inputs, guys. So we'll go ahead and close this poll, and we'll go to the next poll. And basically, at this point, we would like to know where you are located, and this is where we get to see where our audience is from. So I'm going to launch this poll, and please give your inputs again. Then we'll get a chance to know exactly where you're located, and we'll give it about I would say 50-60 seconds. And yeah, again, as we mentioned, that we are going to be working with different team members globally, and this is where you can learn from different markets as well, and different experiences from different people. And this is where the experience is it becomes a lot better, because you get to work with a global team. So the collaboration and the interaction factor becomes a lot more significant. So we have about 80% votes in. We'll give it about 10 more seconds, and we'll close this poll, and we'll share the results, and we'll get to see where all of us are from. And we'll go ahead and close the results. We have about the same 82% votes in. And if you guys can see my results now, you can see that about majority of us are from US or Canada, and that's about 76%. We do have 20% of us that are in the India or South Asia region, and that would cover the majority of our members. And the other participants from, we don't have anyone from Australia or New Zealand, but we do have about 4% of us from Europe. So most of the time we do have, I guess a statistic of this kind, where we do have majority in the US, Canada, North America region, and then we have our teams offshore in India. So this is basically a good, balance. So we can learn from each other. We can work with each other's schedule and all of that. So that's good. I hope you guys were able to learn a little bit about the audience. We'll go ahead and close this poll, and we just have a couple more polls just to get a little bit more information from you guys. So the next poll I would like to run is basically, give me 1 second. The next poll is basically if you are already one of our Selenium members, either either a Selenium member, JPAC member, or yes trainee with iTeLearn. And please go ahead and put your inputs, and we'll get to know exactly where do you stand as far as the training level. How much exposure or how much training knowledge you have to participate in this project. So I see about 40-50% votes in. We'll give it about 30 more seconds. And this is where we get to learn, how prepared you are for this project. And as far as I can see, majority of us are, either our Selenium, JPact, or Yes members, which is excellent. And for some of us that are not, we basically need to revisit those prerequisites for this project and see, where do you stand as far as the prerequisites. If you have covered them in the past and you need to review them, we do have the videos available if you do have the access. If you don't, you can definitely contact our iTeLearn team and get access. And if it's something that is reasonable and you can look at the videos and cover everything before before we get into the project, that'd be great. If it's something that's not reasonable and you rather wait for the next opportunity, then maybe that's better for you. But again, that's a personal decision that you have to make, individual decision. So we'll go ahead and close the poll. I do have about 80% votes in.
Shagor?
It looks like, yes, sorry.
No problem. Just want to add that team, it is not necessary that members do only one project. We have a lot of iTeLearn students who have done multiple projects, because it is one interesting, it builds a lot of portfolio for you. Still at home or hunting for a job or a change, you could continue to do projects. And we don't expect everyone to be an expert. We know that you just learned or have the knowledge, and now we'll develop that skill through these projects. And the other point I wanted to add while the poll is going on is that even if you're working on any of speech development, Ruxana, we will still write test cases and so on our web UI for some applications. So we will also have that. So it could be QA on air, it could be or any other few applications that we are going to be developing now. So I think that will be very, very interesting mix. So while the project members are working for one project, they can put so many applications that they've tested with it. That will be good. Thank you, Shagor.
Sure, Karthik. So yeah, I mean, as Karthik said, we do have about 60%, almost 60% of our audience members that are already a Selenium, JPact, or Yes member, and the 20% that said no, and then the other 20% that says they're planning to be. That's excellent. Please do come aboard. And again, if you don't have the comfort level, whatever time you can put towards the project, we can definitely make considerations, and we can definitely find some I guess tasks for you. So either way, you'll definitely get exposure to a real project environment, and I'm sure we'll get to the next level together. So as far as this poll, we'll go ahead and close this poll, and thank you so much, guys, for your inputs. We'll just go ahead and do one last poll, and we'll make it really quick. And basically, in this poll, we just, let me see, give me 1 second.
Shakur, just after you're done with polling,
Yes.
I would just like to, there are a few questions in the chat, so I would just like to take them up, okay?
Sure, not a problem. Yes. Okay, so last poll I'm going to launch. This is basically just to get an idea what time frame would work best for you guys. This is based on Pacific Standard Time, so please do make sure you put your responses in chat based on your current time zone compared to the Pacific Standard Time. So we have about 4 choices here. We just want to get an idea, where most of the audience members stand as far as, a comfortable or I guess, convenient time to meet for the presentations, for the team presentations. So we do have about 47% votes in, and we'll give it about maybe another 30 seconds or so. We'll try to get a few more participants to give us their responses. And not, again, we'll go ahead and see what everyone prefers, but it also depends on, rest of the team, how we can best make it convenient for everyone. So we need to make sure, we can finalize that timing. But as of now, I have about 76% votes in. We'll go ahead and give it around 10 seconds or so. We'll close the polls. And let's see here. I think that's good. We have about 80% votes in, and I'll go ahead and close the polls now. And as you can see the results, most of us prefer the later time. Well, in terms of Pacific Standard Time, so 7:30 p.m. We have about 60% of us that would like to have the meetings, in the evening time. US time, but we do have some that would prefer in the morning. 25% of us would like it at 10 a.m. PST, and some of us would like it in the afternoon, about 16% of us around 4 p.m. PST. So this is for our
Shagor,
yes.
One of the things about live project is timing, and what I say is number one, coordinate. And when we divide the teams, we do it based on time zones. That's first.
Sure.
Second, you will coordinate with your own team members at your comfort time. It could be any time. And a lot of times, you may be missing the live project. Of course, the videos are there. What I would really encourage, and I've seen this being done a few times, just open a screen recorder, whatever update you want to give, record it 10-15 minutes, and give us the video. We'll play it during the webinar. And that will work too. So I'm just saying, look beyond these simple little challenges towards the big possibilities of what you can do, team. Thanks, Shagor.
Sure, Karthik. Yeah, and it's only 2 days that we have to meet for the team presentation. So I'm sure all of us can make the make this important enough where they can attend the team presentations, and the rest of the individual team meetings you guys can decide on your own based on your time zones, because you guys will be grouped together. So I'm sure this will not be a problem, and obviously in a real job environment, workplace, you do have to make sacrifices and make sure you work well with the team. So we'll try to make it as convenient for you guys, but you guys will also have to put your share in. And also, I just wanted to mention, if you guys, for some of you who said you did not have experience in IT, or actually you're not a Selenium member or JPAC member, if you have any questions about those trainings, you can always email us at learn@iteLearn.com, And once again, it's learn, Learn, at iTeLearn.com. And our team can give you some, the information that you need in order to, make sure you have the right access to the right videos and trainings. Okay, having said that, I will go ahead and hand it over to Roxana. Roxana, do you have anything else to add? And maybe other team members?
I'm really sorry, Shagor. Ashna from iTeLearn. We have one last poll question to be go through. The question that Karthik mentioned, the last question, the audience is joining in through which device? We wanted to know. Laptop, desktop. The last poll would be that.
Oh, sure. Yeah, not a problem. Do we have that poll added to our?
Yes, we do have the poll added.
Okay, let's see. Yes, I do see it here. Yes, sorry, team. We just want to check this last poll with you guys. So I'm launching it now. Please do put your inputs in, and this will also definitely help us in order to, I guess, best place you in the project, depending on which device you're using. And all right, so we have about 73% votes in, and we'll give it about 10-15 more seconds. We'll, I'm sure all of us are able to finish it by that time. And let's see here. So you just choose either if you're joining the session with laptop, desktop, or your smartphone. And we have about 80% votes in, so I'll go ahead and close the poll now. And according to the results, we see that most of us are using our laptop, about 89%, 90%, and then we do have about 2% who are using their desktop. So altogether, about 91% is either using laptop or desktop. Some of us, 99%, are using a smartphone to log in. And yes, so yeah, I guess from here, I think Karthik, do you have anything to say about this poll, or?
No, I, I I thought maybe more people have actually joined from smartphone, and that was the reason I thought we will see. But if I'm just attending and I'm not presenting, then GoToWebinar looks amazing through a smartphone. It was so convenient. I just put my headset on, and then I'm good. So very nice. Thank you. So team, if you can also try. I've seen, but the good thing when you're connected to a laptop with the headphones and so on is you're very serious about it. You're very disciplined, and you're giving all your attention, and that's critical. Thank you so much, team.
Sure, Karthik. Thank you so much. And Roxana, I'm sure the other team members might have a word to say. If you want to take over and then maybe pass it along, we can have the other team members introduce. So I'll go ahead and close the poll. You can make yourself the presenter, I guess.
Yeah, thanks, Shagor.
Sure.
I'll just answer the questions that I see on the chat. So one question was, will the teams be formed after the second demo session? Yes, whoever is interested to work on this live project, please do get in touch with iTeLearn. The pricing and the package, everything is over there. The email is learn@iTeLearn.com, as Shagor already pointed out. And the team will be formed with those registered participants only. Okay, another question is, when is the Selenium Live project going to start? Next week, most probably. We're going to have the second orientation day on May 3rd. Next week, most probably on Monday, you will receive an email, those who register, that's going to have the link to join the webinar for the paid sessions. Okay. Even if you started training on Selenium recently, it's okay. You can join the Selenium Live project. You're most welcome to join the Selenium Live project and get the experience of it. I'm not sure when the next live project is going to start, because we're going to start this live project next week. So maybe in a couple of months, we might have another live project starting soon. And mobile, Okay, mobile app testing most probably end of next month we are planning, but that's tentative. I'm not sure. You have to get in touch with iTeLearn team to know the exact date. Yes, you do have time to brush up on Selenium, and you can join. Like, if you think that you find it very challenging, it entirely depends on
Roxana,
you.
I'm sorry. Uh, can you please read out the question and then give an answer, or use a notepad where you can copy and paste the question and then give the answer?
Okay, I just have like the last question that
Okay. You
um,
can read
like
out
two
the question
questions.
and then give the answer. Yeah.
Okay.
I want to add one thing on that earlier question answer that you gave, Roxana. So,
Yes.
team, let us assume that you have a zero knowledge on Selenium, all right, and you are unsure that you can contribute anything to the project. It is all still fine to participate, be there, coordinate, help in certain activities, see what is happening, observe. So what I meant to say, let us say there's a team of 10 people. There may be two of you who are very strong in programming and a lot of experience behind. There may be another two of us who are absolute beginners, and there's a lot of activities and tasks that are involved for a project. It could be documentation, writing test cases, slowly learning to code. So even if you do not, live project is something you should be. But of course, we assuming that you have access to the videos. So as you're learning, you're also seeing a project being done. I'm done. Thank you.
Oh, okay, all right. We don't have any more questions. That was the last question. I will just read it out. If I still need, like Karthik has already answered that, some more time to brush up on Selenium and start on the next project, do I have that option, or does it have to be this one? I'm an absolute beginner to IT programming, so would need a little more time on that. That was the last question that's already been addressed. So thank you from my side, and Raki, Sridevi, Minal. Please.
Roxana, I'm sorry to interrupt. I just want to make sure that we went through everybody's questions. I see um, earlier we had some questions on chat, and I think Kalpana had trouble logging in. I hope she's okay to, I hope she was able to figure that out. But other than that, I think Lata had a question. It says about, it says because 5 people spoke and everyone is saying you will do this, that, but how? So I'm not sure exactly what your question is, Lata. So if you can, repost your questions, maybe with a little bit more clarification, we can get your uh, concern addressed. Okay, and I don't know if there's any other questions we missed. I just want to make sure everyone, got the answer that they were looking for.
Yes, and team, we have a great panel, so it's a good opportunity for you to put your questions. And if you would like to be unmuted, just raise your hand so we can give you a chance to speak. We can easily spend another 10 minutes to address any questions.
Ruxan,
I see a few hands raised, and I am unmuting Sharmila. So, Sharmila, do you have any questions?
Oh yeah, thanks, Ashna. How are you? I did put a note on chat. I wasn't sure if it was visible. That's why I raised my hand. It's for a follow-up question about what Karthik mentioned about not having enough experience. I do not have programming experience. I was wondering if even if I participate, is it fair to the other people who are experts and already in the working in the industry to be on a project which is live? Wouldn't it be a hindrance to pulling the team down?
Mhm. Very nice. Can I answer that question, team?
Yes, that's
Sure.
for you, Karthik.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay, thank you. No, it would not, because number one, that is how the whole industry is today. You
yeah,
go to a project, you'll not see 10 with the same stars. You'll see a lot of variation. And that is a pyramid structure. That's what we call in the industry. Where we have a pyramid, there's a
yeah.
project manager or an architect at the top, and then there are a lot of, team members at the bottom. What has unfortunately happened in the today's IT world, the pyramid got flatter. So a lot of freshers and startups without core skill in the bottom, and very few good IT leaders on top. And that's where that supply demand issue is there. From your point of view, do not be worried. You will have plenty of activities to be doing in a project, and let us hope we will get some good experts into the project who will just jump in. That's it. I mean, yeah. See, it's so beautiful, right? Let's assume that you're learning Selenium on the side, but wow, you're seeing a project being done. It is also
Yes.
inspiring. So that's why I say just go for projects. Do not miss. Never
Okay.
miss an opportunity to add projects. So just be on part of it. Yeah. Did I
Yeah,
answer your
because
question?
yeah, kind of, because when I was looking at the poll, I'm like, very few of us are beginners, like probably 9%, and you have more than half of the class who are experts. So it was a little overwhelming. So yeah, just was wondering. Thank you though.
Hi. Yeah, you're welcome. So everyone knows your name. Now let's see which team you will be part of, and then
Hope
they will
not.
say, no, don't worry, Shamala, you'll be fine.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you,
you'll be
Ashna.
fine. I think, and see, we already are at the comfort zone working from home. So, and it's very interesting. There's so much communication, coordination beyond the actual coding. I think
Thank
we'll enjoy this. Thank you.
thank you.
Okay, then I have Jyotsna who's raised her hand, so I'm unmuting her. Jyotsna, can you please go ahead?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you for unmuting me. Actually, how long will be this project, live project? How many months will it go?
Good
Shall I?
question. Yeah, please, Ruxana, go
No,
ahead.
no, no, it's okay, Karthik, please, please.
So I think minimum 6 weeks. I would say minimum 5 to 6 weeks. But since it's a product developing that we are development we're doing, we are developing a software test automation product. That's what we're trying to do. So it'll be a constant journey. So what I mean to say is some of the members who are still with us have been in live projects for the last 6 months and so. Minimum 6 weeks for this project, a specific, we have a specific milestone, scope expectations. But if you could volunteer to continue to work for experience and if it's passion.
Okay. So after 6 months, we are ready to put the project in our profile and go into the industry. That's what my question is, Karthik.
Yes. Yes. Typically, what happens, though we finish training in 6 weeks and so on, maybe another project in 6 weeks, there's a lot to do with your resume. It is the most important item. And unfortunately, we'll spend 200 hours on training and 2 hours in building a resume, which is the most important thing.
Yeah.
That should come very, very clearly, very crisp. So though you may work for 6 weeks, the content of the project and what you've involved into will be very rich. So it'll give you a nice project right at the top in your resume. Just imagine, right after your summary, you have this good project. Oh wow, that's a lot to talk about. So even though someone does not have, let's assume, that 5 years or 6 years of QA industry experience, this project can give them something to talk about in an interview. Okay, I appreciate 6 weeks. That's nice, interesting. So we open up more doors. A lot of our members continue 6 months, 1 year. They keep going. They keep doing projects. They like to be part of this project teams. Did I
Okay.
answer your question? And what was your name again?
Yeah. Yes, Karthik. Actually, I'm looking for some more questions. I may shoot an email to the team because I don't want to take more time asking only my questions. Thank you.
No, that's fine. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Jyotsna. Um, I think the next would be Manju. Manju, I'm unmuting you. You can please go ahead.
Hi,
Manju, you are unmuted.
Hi, this is Manju. Actually, I took the course, but I still need some more time to catch up with my videos because of my job, and I'm trying to move to California. So wrapping up all the things. So how aggressive will this project be? Like, I want to know like how soon we will get the requirements, how soon we need to work on the timeline, how aggressive it is. I just want to know the
Yeah,
process.
it will be aggressive, but I would put it more like 2 to 3 hours a day. Let's say about 15 hours a week.
Okay.
More aggressive from a team. Oh, team, can we get on a call? We have a session coming up. Is our presentation ready? Is the project ready for a demo? Can we show this? Lot of that. You will be under stress for that 2 to 3 hours. Some members do it for 10 hours, 12 hours. But
Okay.
minimum 2 to 3 hours a day, you must be able to dedicate, especially to be part of that team, that group, that WhatsApp and Skype networks.
Okay. That includes not only the programming activity, that includes all different type of tasks related to this project, right?
Correct. Yeah. And you have to move your files. You all will be working from different locations. How do you keep your continuous build going? How do you use Jenkins and Mavens to? So a lot of interesting stuff will come. Now, even there was another question. I think, did I hear that? Um, I think I answered part of your question. There was another question that you put. You're saying you're moving to California and you have, yes. So yeah, team. So like I said, when the project starts, usually there'll be about 40, 50 members, 4 or 5 teams of 10 each. Towards the end, we may have to merge some of the teams together. Maybe it becomes 3 or 4 teams instead of 5, because we get dropouts, people for multiple reasons, just like any other projects. And with a lot of respect, we said, no problem, go ahead, come back later for the next project. And the thing, this is the state where um, you are more concerned about your team members and not about iTeLearn trainers. So it's a lot that you do coordinate. You want to be there with them as much. So 2 hours team a day, commit yourself. We may meet only twice a week where you come and present to us in a 90-minute session, but you will be working with your team at least for a couple of hours every day.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much. And I'm also part of the test management course. So I'm preparing my certification as well. So just want to make sure taking which are the how much time I need to allocate for each one. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I would next unmute Srini. Srini, you're unmuted. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi team. This is Srini. Well, I have an experience for the last experience in the sense learning experience of Selenium, Java, and couple of frameworks. Just trying to understand what is the project we're going to take up. Hello, anybody able to hear me?
Sorry,
Yes.
I was muted. Yes. Srini, so you should visit anyaught.com. Shagur, if that is your screen, can you open up our website? Anyaught is the software test automation product that we created at Verkasa, and we have already launched one production version called Orange, and now we're working on a new version called Peach. We're using a lot of latest technologies and so on. This uses a Selenium engine at the back end, built on Selenium WebDriver, Core Java. A lot of framework concepts has been built into it: keyword-driven, page object model, data-driven, and very nicely laid out with the web UI. So you should definitely look at the application that is currently there. And we are talking about involving you all into programming, rewriting this code of this framework.
Yes, Karthik.
Did I answer your question, Srini?
What are or any? Yeah, after
Sorry,
getting this
Srini, can
project
you fill out?
frameworks, what are the frameworks that we use in this? Any idea? Because
You should go and visit anyaught.com. You'll see everything about it. On the main page, you've got the complete information about what it does, and you can also see the architecture diagram.
Okay.
We'll talk a lot about this application in the coming few sessions, because once we get into that app discussion, it'll be all how we built it, why was this feature there, what are we looking for in the new version, where are we today. Now let's open up the scripts and we give it to you and say, guys, look at this, or let's write from scratch. Keyword driven framework, data driven, page object model, both have been plugged in very nicely. And we have about 66 inbuilt keywords in Orange and over 100 inbuilt keywords in the new version Peach. The reason we could not yet launch Peach totally is because we built Orange using core PHP, the front end, what you're seeing on the screen. Peach, we took a decision that let's go with the latest technology, and it's being built on Node.js, Angular, and MongoDB. We're using a lean stack application. Now, so we have an option that, hey, you know what, you write a code or a few programs or build a framework as part of the live project for some of the applications that we are developing. Or, you know, I just wondered, and then I came up saying that why don't you participate in Peach development itself? So that will be the application, and we'll talk a lot about this as we keep going. But you can play around. It is free. Orange is a free version. You can sign up, write test cases, download the Excel, install the application, and execute it.
So basically, the programming is how many programming languages that Java you're using?
Okay, so the front end is gonna be on what I said, Node.js, Angular, and MongoDB, and so on, which you wouldn't be touching much. The backend Selenium engine will be totally on Java. If there are volunteers, I don't mind if someone wants to try doing it in Python, because we are also trying to add a protractor, and so that we get to handle some smarter applications that are being built on Angular these days. But the core of what our team, this live project, will be focusing will be total Java, DevOps. We will talk about Jenkins, Maven a lot, total Selenium WebDriver. And in fact, we will also be able to evaluate Selenium Grid to a fair extent, because what we have right now is a desktop version, I mean, a system version. You download it and run it locally. We are now trying to see how we can run it in a distributed environment, especially on the cloud. So we can then sell hosting space. Oh, you know what, for every test case, we want to charge you so much. It's a pretty interesting tool. You should play around a little bit more.
So the server is, repository is your, of this one, or GitHub you're using?
We totally work on Git.
GitHub.
I also want team to see if there's a possibility to add Amazon Web Services, especially S3 and CloudFront, and that exposure will be good for you. See, what I was saying is, with our software testing, there are so many tools that we get exposed to, and the market has certain expectation. There's a certain gap, and once you're able to put that profile, all this tools into your resume, then you have a really good solid thing to talk about. So here's the opportunity where we will give you the freedom that, hey, go play around. You see something better than GitHub, suggest. We have so many with Atlassian tools. That's very good. Other tools as well.
Cucumber is also included, Ruby Cucumber, because Maven has been.
Yeah. I want team to explore Cucumber and see if they can build it, use it more as an inspiration, and see how we can integrate it. I'm not committing anything on Cucumber or Protractor yet. I think we are anyway working on it. Let's see if I see interest. So here is what the question is, more to you all. What do you want to use? You want to use Trello? You want to use GitHub? You want to use AWS? You want to use... So let's open that up. Be more creative. Think through nicely. And that's the reason I felt, wow, let's give you all the opportunity to think how we can rebuild Peach, the new version. Do I answer your questions correctly, Srini?
It's going to be very big if we include all. I'm just trying to figure out because it's in the last year which I have done. It's very new. It's only the points which I remember. I need to be refresh all the things. So if I start also, I have
That's
to
fine.
look into all these things.
We are a training institute. We're a training company. We impart skills, knowledge, hands-on experience. So that's our um, duty and job. So don't worry. See, we start with a program, one simple Java program, and then we keep writing, writing. We will become an expert in 3 weeks. I have no question about it. I don't doubt that. I just want you all to open up minds and be ready to make mistakes. Let runtime errors come. Let us learn through a lot. It is very simple, team. Lose the fear. You have to be a very SDET focused. Uh, in the market, today's market, you have to be multi-skilled, and software development engineering test is a very, very significantly big role. In that, if you have these kind of tools, skills that even Srini was mentioning, some of them will really add on to you. So let's get an opportunity to work. Worst case, you will fail, right? But I won't fire you unless we are indisciplined, right? So you're still part of the project. We have so many opportunities to make mistakes and learn. And not only from your own, you'll see it from other team members. And you'll say, oh, wow, you know what, good. I don't have to make that same mistake now. This is all real learning, team. You will fill in your gaps.
So when you talk about Java, it stop with Java, or it also going to Hibernate or Spring also?
No. You don't need to really complicate. Java can be very simple. Even when one of the programming styles that I kind of bring to the table is simplicity. How simple can the code be? We just will be on core Java. There will be a few Apache and few jar libraries that we will use. Um, Other than that, we are okay. There's a lot to talk about, Srini. What all are coming in, because we have to focus a lot on BI and data visualization. So we will focus on moving from this extent reports that we have to even Tableau, and we're really planning for that. So let's see what all we can expose. And we really think that once you start opening that code and going into core Java, it will become pretty simple. That initial fears that we have, couple of sessions, you'll be pretty much comfortable.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Wow, a lot of questions, very patiently you asked, and I hope I answered them for you as well. Thank you. All right, anyone else? Ashna?
Yes, Karthik, we have two more people. So I'm unmuting Lakshmi now. Lakshmi, you can go ahead with your questions. Lakshmi, I see yourself muted. Can you please unmute yourself? Lakshmi, I see your hand raised. Yes.
Am I audible to everyone?
Yes, Lakshmi, you are.
Hello.
Yes, Lakshmi, you are audible. Please go ahead.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Yes, Lakshmi, hi.
Since nowadays everyone is moving to Cucumber framework, not only using phase object model, why can't we go ahead with Cucumber framework? Because see, if you see any real-time project in any IT, they're using Cucumber with BDD framework. So if you just do a project on normal Selenium, it won't be that good. So I just want to ask you guys, why can't we go with that? And also you mentioned that we every time we upload the code in Google Drive, but in real time they uses continuous integrations like Git and Jenkins, wherein when you upload the code in Git, it automatically triggers some of the smoke tests, and they will be executed. If we do that thing here also, it would be more like a real-time experience, not only just normal experience on Selenium.
Yeah. No, absolutely spot on. You're right, and that is the direction.
And
Information
also,
team. We've been working
see,
on AnyOt for the last 2 years. Go
sorry,
ahead, please. You want to finish your question?
and one more question,
Lakshmi?
and also you mentioned about logging the defects, maintaining the defect defects in one Excel sheet. So the people uses Jira or HP ALM in real time. So if we do all those things, it would be more like real-time experience, and we are working, and we feel like we are working on more tools as a real-time users uses.
Okay, and like it shows on the screen, I just want you all to be number one aware this product is being developed for the last 2.5, 3 years. And when
Okay.
it comes to the actual project and how we develop, Ruxana leads this complete project. At peak, we had almost 25 people working on this project. All right, so a lot of web development activities and so on. So when you talk about Git, when you talk about SDED, when you talk about using instead of Google Drive, all these things, we actually use them. We work on them. Our team has already been researching on Cucumber and Protractor in the last 2, 3 months. We are getting onto the latest platforms. We are doing it. Now, what I am trying to see is who is interested from my training members to work on a project. I am challenging you all. So that question goes back to you. Are you willing to bring something new to the table that is still not there? And there are so many competitive products as well, which we can explore. Like Catalan Studio is there, Experietest has some products. So many amazing products are.
Okay.
Okay, Kartik, we can't hear you. Lakshmi, do you have anything to add?
If I
Uh,
start showing all the complexities on day one, it would be hard for you guys to really pitch in. So we start in a this is a program. We've been doing this for a long time. So we exactly put the structure. Yes, Lakshmi, we will bring all of these and we want you to really play on that too.
yeah. Okay. That's
Did I
good if
answer your
you
question?
bring all of them together.
Sure. Yes, you need to get, and even SOAP UI, web services API testing, mobile app testing, a little bit of APM. We have to
Yeah.
get them. You show the creativity. Oh, you know what? I just don't want to remain to be this. Put HPALM if you can. Jira, Bugzilla, there's so many nice tools. Let's use them correctly. So you know that once you use them, you know why we used, how much you used. Even if you're not an expert, you can say, yes, we used it in the project. My scope was limited to something else. That's fine too. But at least it'll show up on your resume.
Yes, that's why I'm asking all these things, because we
Mm-hmm.
know all these things exist in real time, but we never used it. That's why
Correct.
I'm asking you guys to bring them together so we all work on it.
Yeah. Yes. And if it was just for preparing for an interview, getting the questions, answers, and going, it's different. We want you to feel very confident, like you're all speaking right now. This is what I'm really excited to be hearing your voices going forward. I don't know how many sessions I myself will be part of, but I'm very excited to see the output. I really want to involve into this project. Right? Thank you, Lakshmi.
Thank you.
Yes, Kartik. So we have Neha with us. I would unmute Neha. Uh, Neha, I have unmuted you yourself. Okay, can you please go ahead?
Hi, Neha.
Neha can't hear you.
Okay.
Okay. I think there's some issue at Neha's end. Team, anyone else? Because I do not really see anyone else hand raised.
Yeah,
Okay, we have
we don't have
Praveen
anyone
Karthik.
this week.
Maybe one last question by Praveen. Maybe. Uh, okay, Praveen, I've unmuted you. Can you please go ahead? Hello.
can't hear you, Praveen.
Karthik, I guess there's an issue at Neha's and Praveen's end. So I think we are done. Yeah. Those were the hands that were raised.
Nice. Thank you, everyone. Shagor, Roxana, you want to close if no one else has a question or points to add?
Thank you so much, Karthik, for all your feedback and answering to their queries. If we don't have any more questions, then maybe we are good to go, Ashna.
Yes, I think we are good. I just see one question, Ruxana, if
Yes,
you
sure.
or Karthik could answer it. For CI or CD, are you going to create with Docker and configure with Jenkins? Is the question that Hema is asking.
Hima, actually, we were going to talk more about the application on the next day, like on May 3rd, because we did not want to go into all the details today on the first session. So, we will take this up on the second day, Hima. So, don't think that we are trying to avoid the question. We will take it up on the second day. We are already running out of time. It's already been 2 hours.
Okay, there is two more questions. One, will it be in an agile scrum methodology? The question is by Lenora.
Sorry?
Will it be
Agile?
in an
Yes.
agile scrum methodology?
Yes.
Yes, totally yes. In fact, super agile, super sprints because you're on toast team.
All right. The next question is by Deepthi. What all will be covered in Selenium Live project? Database connectivity, Postman, testing, REST, SOAP UI. Is a question.
So like again, I want to emphasize the difference between training and project. If you use those words, then you can use actually implement it. So it is not, we are not going to teach you anything, team. You're going to try and implement a project and showcase. We're going to guide you. So if you're proposing, great, let's use it in your project, in your team. Each team can use a variation, and that is what will be nice. One team can focus in doing more with I don't know, there's so many tools that you have a choice to build with. So yes, definitely, why not? And there's so many nice tools, technologies coming up. And if you're interested, team, some of you can even learn Node.js, a little bit of front-end web development, Angular, but again, not really critical. So you should be very focused. Have a core, team. All these tools are side. So what is your core? If you're saying that my core is 25 tools, then it is not correct. If your core is, let us say, Selenium WebDriver with Java, and then you also have these other tools, wow, nice. That's a nice packaging. All right. But do not miss your core. Your Java programming, Selenium have to be strong. And team, being aware of the audience and the usual students that I've seen, we have 2 certifications also that we created on ENIOT Certified Tester and ENIOT Certified Developer. I think next session we'll speak a lot about that. So Certified Tester is someone who's not really comfortable in coding, but knows how to use this application and implement it for a customer. The ENIOT Certified Developer is someone who can actually open up the code, maintain, customize it, and deploy or be part of the product development team. So as you work on this project, you could choose maybe the first project this time. If you're not too convenient, you try and be more of a ACT, like an ENIOT Certified Tester. The next project, go to the next level, become an ENIOT Certified Developer, get more serious about coding, programming. So that's a nice gradual progression that you'll face. But since it's a project team, a lot of initiative will come from your end. And I would want you to be creative and definitely come up with new ways of doing the same old thing. Am I answering all the questions? Sorry, Ruxana, Shagor, I've been taking the mic for the Q&A a lot.
No, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Karthik.
All right, we good, everyone. Thank you then. Take
Thanks,
So
care.
everyone.
Have a good evening, morning, everyone. See you in the next session. Bye, all. Thank you, team.
Bye,
take care.
Karthik.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone. Thank you so much, Ashna, for organizing it. Thanks, Shagor and rest of the team. And thanks to all the attendees for joining the session today. Please try to join on May 3rd, if possible. And if, like, I saw like someone asking if they're not able to join the second session, would they be able to register for the live project? Of course. Of course. So get in touch with iTeLearn team if you want to register for the live project. So see you all on the second day, which is on May 3rd. So thanks everyone and good night to all. Bye.
Thank you all. Bye.